Hello, good morning. This is a very special recording for my friends in One Voice Task Force, and this is very important. So I would like you to listen to me and understand a few very important things which I want to share with you. I'm pretty sure this will be useful, not only in the context of One Voice as your role as task force member, but in the context of your whole life. I'm pretty sure some of you are feeling the pinch of the pressure of handling your assignments as a task force executive, task force custodian or host. Some of you may be wondering, hey, what I'm doing here, my other work is pending, I must quit. All right. Now, this would be very relevant for everyone who is thinking this way, or perhaps such thoughts will arise in their minds in a few days from now. So listen to me very carefully. I am not persuading you. I am not forcing you. I will never stop you from quitting your assignment and responsibility as a task force soldier. If you really want to go, you are most welcome to go. But listen to me at least. As they say, before you go, stay here and listen to me. Now, goes back in 1991 when I passed out. I had passed out in 1990 my MILT course, which is the mother course for UXL. UXL happens to be an extension of MILT leadership training. And MILT is created by Aparesh Acharya, the former trainer of Dale Carnegie Institute, after the name of his boss. I mean, his trainer, his name is Joe Magrath. And he used to tell us, when we used to say, Aparesh, you are very cruel, he used to say, you haven't met Magrath. He was 10 times more cruel than me. And that's exactly what I tell my students when they say, Asit, you were very cruel in my class. So thank God you have not met my boss. He was 10 times more cruel than me. But many of my friends in MILT who have been associated with me for quite some time give a pat on my back and said, no, you are not as cruel as Aparesh. In fact, you are a much more sober and well-behaved person. I mean, I am not saying that my boss was bad, but certainly he was very rough. Now, way back in 1990 when I passed out from my MILT course, MLC 26 in Kolkata, I was elected the batch secretary, what we call envoy in our course. As a batch secretary, as a person who always takes initiative and wants to work hard and do a very good job, I used to take a lot of initiative. At that time, I used to work in a very cozy job in the British High Commission as a trade and investment advisor, and I was on the job. And it was a 9-to-5 job. One good thing is there was no extra work, there is no overtime, and the central AC used to be down at exactly 5 o'clock. You cannot even stay in the office. But all the same, from 9 to 5 and your assignments, and the British used to be very strict on that. So I used to do my best in doing all the assignments related to my alumni because I was the secretary. And as you know, the running horse gets the whip. So Aparesh used to make me work very hard. And it was a Sunday. I think it was the month of June, scorchy summer in Calcutta. It is very sultry. So those days there was no computer and other things, 1991. So what we used to do is we used to create a circular and cyclostyle it. You remember cyclostyle in that machine? Okay. So as a secretary, I used to write the circular on behalf of the president of the chapter. Abhay Mishra was my president. And it was my job to write the circular. I used to take a lot of interest in writing. I wrote the circular. And it was a Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, and the alumni was to happen in 10 days' time. Aparesh asked, has the circular been sent? It was to be sent by post. I said, no, I have written the circular and I have to cyclostyle it. He looked at my eyes and said, I'm giving you 2 hours time. Go over and get it cyclostyle. Now, the place where I used to get it cyclostyle was about 10 kilometers away from the place where we're sitting down, and it was scorchy summer. Those days people used to be sitting under a shade, the big balconies, there is a shade and the portico, and below that people used to sit down and type, and they used to have a cyclostyle machine. So it was kind of a big queue. So I went there and I stood under the sun, and it took me nearly 2.5 hours to get the cyclostyle done. I was very angry. I hated this work. And I was burning inside the moment I entered the chamber back in Park Street, when my trainer was sitting down, and I told him, don't make me do this nasty job. You know, I am a high commission officer. And my trainer looked at my face, and he knew that I wanted to be trainer. And I was a much younger person, as you know, so I was very angry, and I looked into his eyes and said, don't make me do this work. I hate it. Get somebody else to do it. This is not my job. I said, okay, settle down. Have some water. So he gave me some water, and then he said, hey, all right, we will look into that. And can you do me a favor? I said, what? He said, can you call G.R. Ashok? Now, G.R. Ashok was my predecessor. You know, he is younger by age. He was a dentist, very upcoming dentist, and doing very well. He's a South Indian guy, born and brought up in Calcutta. He used to speak Bengali like his mother tongue. He was very popular, and he used to take a lot of interest in Milt. In operation, he used to be almost his right hand. And he used to be having a busy chamber in Rajbihari Avenue. And he said, you give Ashok and ask him to come right now. I gave him a call, and Ashok said, Asit, I got 5 patients waiting for me. How can I go now? I said, I don't know. Aparesh wants you to come right now. Oh, I see. Can I talk to him? I passed the telephone on to him. Operation is hefty. Why, Ashok, I want you to come right now. And I do not know what the dialogue went in, but he said, no, nothing doing. You're going to come right now. And he left the receiver. And Ashok in his old Maruti green colored car was there in just about half an hour time. And he said, Paresh, you are terrible. I got patients with appointment. What do I tell them? He said, sit down. Don't worry. All this happens. He sat down and he was smiling. Ashok was very cool. He was sitting down and smiling, and sit down and said, I was sitting by his side. He said, Ashok, how much money you are making every month? Shocked. Ashok was shocked. What a question. He said, I'm your trainer. I'm your friend. Can you share exactly how much money you are making every month? Ashok said, about 60,000 rupees a month. 1991, 60,000 rupees a month the dentist was making. And he shared this in front of me with the trainer. And he smiled and looked at me and said, hey, the British officer, locally engaged British officer, would you share with me? I hope you will have no hesitation to share your salary, how much money you are earning. I was shocked. I was earning 7,500 rupees per month. And I said, I earn 7,500 rupees. I said, what is the percentage? It is 7,500 rupees. I think 60,000 is quite a lot, much bigger than that, isn't it? I was head down. I said, Aparesh told Ashok, he said, you had 5 patients walking and I gave you a call for the work of alumni and you closed. All the things kept it pending and you came. What was your impetus? Why did you listen to me? You could deny me. You could misbehave with me. I was disturbing you, taking your professional time. Why did you come? Ashok smiled and said, what are you saying, Aparesh? Your word is just like gospel to me. I know. Whatever I'm doing, whatever I've gained is through you. If I didn't take the Milt course, will I be doing so much? You are my priority, Aparesh. You are my greatest friend. Any moment, any time I would come, you are a priority in my life. He said, sorry for detaining you. You can go now. Ashok was shocked. He said, only for this you call me? Yes, buddy. I'll come to your chamber this evening. We'll have a chat over a cup of coffee. At between 5 to 6, everybody used to come around Ashok. We all used to go. We used to have a cup of coffee with him. So Ashok went away. Now this trainer told me, now look at your temperament. You wanted to be a trainer. You wanted to be a big man. He's much younger to you by age. He is making much more money than you. Look at his humility. Look at his thought. Look at his vision. Look at his mindset. He didn't hesitate to respond to me because I called him, not because I am not important. He knows that he is gaining. Unlike you, you think this is a spare job. You have a lot of ambitions about British High Commission. You have forgotten that you will be a locally engaged officer. You will never become a British. They will keep you under you all the time. And you are so proud of your job. You are unable to value this thankless social job that you are doing. And that's the difference between you and Ashok. He feels by doing the job he is gaining. It is not an extra load thrust on his shoulder. he has the vision, he has the foresight. He knows that by doing this job, it is not the alumni who is gaining, it is he who is gaining, and that's why he has grown in just 5 years' time. You have been in this business for 20 years, Asit. In 5 years, he is making much more money than you. Go back now, think over it, and my advice to you, you are not doing anything extra. And Oppo has always loved making fun. He said, you are not giving me free service for my daughter's marriage. Neither are you giving free service in my funeral, Asit. You are doing it for yourself. You are not doing me any favor. Go back and think in how many ways this work is going to help you in your future. And when you feel that this is related with your own life, your own career, your own future, your own growth, your own development, then continue in the work sincerely. Have some strategies. You will do your office work very well as this. If you want to do it, you can always do it. Where there is a will, there is a way. You can be straightforward. You can talk to your friends. You can delegate the job. You got to do it, Asit. And I am giving you an opportunity. You are not doing me a favor. I am doing you a favor by opening this opportunity to you. Go back and think. Now, this backdrop is enough message for those people who think that their personal ambitions is being put to jeopardy by doing a one-voice task force. You have a narrow vision, my friend. Try to relate this work with your life, with your ambition. What you are planning to achieve in your life is very small. What you will achieve is much bigger. And you will achieve that with your faith, with your love, with your contribution, with your service. These equations are not known to you. You have a logical mind, 2 and 2, 4. You cannot think that 2 and 2 can be 22. And this goes back to conclude my presentation with benefits that I've got. I learned from Milt course, terrific course. It changed my life. But I didn't learn from Milt more than what I learned being an alumni secretary, alumni president, national convention president, and many other things. 3 years I was actively involved in alumni, and I am reaping the harvest. There are thousands and thousands of people who have learned from me how to run alumni meetings and conventions, and they follow that even today. And those who do it, they know what value it gives them. So I learned more from being an alumni. Was that enough? No. I learned even more by being with my boss. The best time that I've spent with him, staying with him in his house, cleaning his car, washing his clothes. He never asked me to do it. I used to do it for his favor. And all those paid rich dividends to me. You guys have a very small vision. You do not know how a trainee learns from the trainer. Ask a Zen student and ask a Zen master how they get enlightened being with a wise trainer. I'm not saying I'm wise, but I certainly say, having trained thousands of people and you one of them, it will not be my ego. It will be a fact to share with you. I know a couple of things better than you, my friend, and you too tend to gain being in my company. So organize yourself, stay on, do a great job. In spite of this, if you feel this is a burden and you are not gaining anything, just let me know and walk out. That will not affect our relationship. You will always be there. So thank you for your time, and I hope this little video is do a lot of good to you. Thank you very much. See you. Have a great week ahead. Great Monday. Bye-bye.